place here with Jacob Harkey.
That's right.
Jacob is live now too.
This is true. I'm here with Dodge Landisman. If you are not subscribed, please check out.
I'm honored. Thank you.
Heck yeah.
And subscribe to Jacob Harkey as well.
Thank you. And as Dodge said, we are in an interesting place today. We are outside of the Church of Scientology's international base in unincorporated Riverside County near Hemet, California. Today is Dodge's last day in California, potentially, for a little bit, or at
I'll
least
be back.
in SoCal.
Yeah.
So I figured this might be a fun.
Yeah, it's a fun little goodbye, definitely.
So where we're walking past right now, we can see the Golden Era Golf Course. And this is Highway 79, which bisects the property. Gosh, where the sun is positioned right now, it's hard to see that without the rays. But if you could read through those rays, it says Golden Era Golf Course right there. Kara Peoples in the chat says, Jacob, road trip for the ages. Road trip for the ages indeed. Thank you for being here, Kara. Linda Perella says, I live east of that place, about 10 miles away from there.
Oh, that close.
So you live, so you know this.
It's not
place,
as isolated
then.
as I think.
Okay, so what is this building right here? One thing that I did do for today is I printed out some maps so that I could try to have an idea of where we are.
And so he's asking, does anybody use the golf course? It looks like this would be a perfect time, perfect weather to go golfing, and there's nobody here. Nobody on it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the golf course doesn't get used, except when Tom Cruise is here, maybe. Maybe when Tom Cruise comes. And honestly, I don't think that Tom Cruise does come to the INT base anymore, because I don't think Miscavige comes to the INT base anymore.
Right, I heard that. Sad.
And pretty much everybody, sad. I think pretty much everybody who works at the INT base is somebody who has seen or been near Miscavige beating, or at the very least verbally abusing his staff.
Yeah, all the happy memories. That's the sad part. You know, he's made his mark in a beautiful way.
He's looking to stay as far away from all those people as he can.
Apparently.
Wonder when the last time Mark Yeager or Guillaume Lesev happened to see Miscavige in person. I'm sure it's been years.
A while. So the golf course is pretty expansive. As you can see, we're still walking along it. And it's just another example of all the wasted space that they utilize. Mm-hmm. And there's kind of no point to it. But as we walk along the golf course, we'll come up in the main area. And we should at least see how high the fences are.
I am curious to see that too.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting to look at logistically how easy it truly is to escape.
Nice to have you in here.
Oh, thank you.
So here is another little entrance that I was under the impression that it would be very hard to get over the fences.
Yeah, you can just walk in the golf course.
Unless there's a fence that somebody has to get over to even get to this part of the property, it doesn't actually seem as hard as I anticipated.
Well, yeah, it looks like there's, at the main part, there's some sort of wall, but I don't...
Yeah, this is gold base.
I don't know how significant that wall is.
Yeah, maybe if we...
You want to cross the street, get a better view?
Yeah, let's go.
Cool. You ready?
Good call.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Check this out. So, let's see if I can figure out what buildings those would be. As I understand it, this is the site. Let's see that building specifically named. I guess maybe that's just the building that corresponds to the golf course. Maybe they've got the golf clubs in there. Who knows? Linda Perella says bungalows could be.
Interesting.
We see a parking lot over here, it looks like, if my eyes are missing. Don't see any cars in the parking lot, but I do.
Yeah, no golf carts, nothing.
It looks like here is a green
farmland.
right here. If I can remember my golf terms, I guess this would be fairway, this would be green.
Wow, you know yourself. Okay, yeah.
Most of what I know about golf, I know from Wii. Anybody play Wii golf back in the
Yeah, right,
day?
Wii golf. That's a fun one.
I was never much of a gamer, but Wii Sports was...
We a little more effort. You put a little more energy into it. Yeah.
Danny Dash, so just got here, is this in Hemet? So
Yes,
Hemet is the
kind
city
of.
that Dodge and I met up in today. However, technically the gold base is in unincorporated Riverside County, so it's actually outside
it's not
the borders of the city.
Oh, it's not in Chacumba Hot Springs or
Jacinto.
Jacinto? Yeah.
I don't know. Well, sometimes it'll say San Jacinto as
Yeah, or
the,
San
as
Jacinto.
the city, like when I look it up on Google Maps or something.
Yeah.
But so, as I understand it, it's considered unincorporated Riverside County, so it's
Random.
outside. So what I would usually hear people who have stayed here, people like Mike Rinder, I would hear them say that this is an unincorporated Riverside County near Hemet.
Ah.
Hemet is the closest town.
It's a big county. I'm staying in Riverside. It's a whole hour away. I'm surprised it's all the same county.
I got up and I was like, how long are you in California for? You want to meet up? And he was like, I'm leaving this weekend. And I was like, oh, where are you staying? He's like, Riverside. I was like, Riverside?
Yeah.
Oh, are you near the Gold Base?
I guess not far. I didn't even realize it.
Did you just get some debris from that truck that drove by?
I think. Yeah, a little bit. Oh, well.
As you can see, there's no sidewalk here, and there's not even really much of a spot for cars to pull over in a lot of the road that leads up to the Gold Base. And that's very on purpose, because Scientology does not want people pulling their cars over and checking this place out, which is why
Stunning.
nearby.
So you should build an Airbnb on this or something. It's really massive. And I guess this is all artificially planted, I suppose. This wasn't natural, I wonder how, like...
Yeah, I would imagine it's not all natural. I would imagine grass was put in.
Yeah. It's ironic that... Yes. Roadkill. Yeah, it's a lot of it. It's sad that this is beautiful. I mean, this is a beautiful walking area, and you can't access it if you live there. It's like, here's a nice view, bitch, that you don't get to enjoy. Have fun. Why are you walking along the road, Don Davidson says? Because this is a very special road. The most special road. This is the road to going clear, to cleansing your soul. We're walking down the main road along the end space, along the Golden Era Productions, Gold Base, however you want to call it. So that's what we're checking out. Because I have some overts I've been withholding, and I need an answer for that. I do. I've been all of that. I've been freeloading. I got a real debt. It's not okay. Yeah, follow along.
If you watch season 3, episode 1 of the Irreverent Scientology in the Aftermath, you'll see Valerie's episode where she tells her story. She is also suing and John, you and I have been through a hearing.
Bunch of them. Yeah.
A hearing in Valerie's lawsuit where the judge basically just confirmed that, yeah, this is out of my hands. An arbitration agreement was signed and a contract, so there's nothing that I can do. Oh, that was a disappointing day. Were you that with me? I can't remember.
No, that was. Well, I'm curious. The motion that happened like 2 days ago, was that for Gavin Potter or for Valerie Haney? Do you know?
There have been recent
hard to keep track. It's based on the same premise, right, of religious arbitration.
Well, both of them have encountered that hurdle, and unfortunately, Valerie's has.
Stalled. It hasn't been thrown out.
Has been more stalled, and the judge has shown less willingness to listen to any of the merits of the case. Like the judge in Valerie's lawsuit has unfortunately given Scientology pretty much what they've wanted, which is just put the case into arbitration.
Yeah, we'll handle it.
Don't get involved. Stephen Miller says 60 Minutes Australia has a segment about this. That's what checking out too.
Oh, whoops.
As far as what happened recently, I know that there was a recent.
I actually green screened, guys. I don't know how to ungreen screen.
And to be honest, I don't know. You okay? Do you have
I accidentally pressed green screen and I don't know how to press it on. Like, I don't know what I did.
Wait, what is it you pressed? Oh, retouch. Retouch.
No, green screen. Green screen.
Green screen.
Oh, here we go. Nothing. Okay, cool.
But I know that there was a recent development specifically involving David Savage in the Jane Doe, the Religious Technology Center et al. Case, where Gavin Potter is one of the defendants.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm hesitant to speak too confidently about it because I haven't read into it as much as I would. And Folks, I miss the days that I could go into the courtroom and pay attention to the hearings firsthand, but working full-time, it's tougher to make
job.
that happen.
I gotta pick up the slack.
Thankfully, I have the time for a weekend outing to Gilman Hot Springs.
It's pretty. There's some hiking trails here and stuff, and it's funny how not actually that isolated it is. Because if you went over the fence, you could walk. Well, we just kind of did that. We walked from the shopping center, and we were walking for 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Something like
So what? It's not nearly as in the middle of nowhere. I mean, still relatively in the middle of nowhere, but not nearly as much as I thought.
Although a board drill was run immediately after somebody jumped over the fence, it wouldn't take long.
Well, yeah, they have a lot of, it's not like you can, it's stunning.
This would be such a great place for like a retreat. Like I think of like
Would be.
retreats that I would do.
Oh, yeah.
This would be like such a fun place to come for a retreat, stay in the birthing.
Yeah. Would be cool.
Don't buy Academy ever lets their students do retreats.
Would that be cool? Not that's not a secret. We're almost pulling up to the actual base. I wouldn't be opposed coming back, walking into the golf course, but I might be a little too nervous.
Property, no trespassing.
That it does,
walk
but
up the road a little bit before we get to that metal bar right here.
I admire your caution.
Maybe that's a plant on the other side.
Yeah, beyond it looks like a farmer's plot. Like it's just a farmer.
Yeah, I could see that, definitely. Yeah, I had heard that there was a golf course here. It didn't occur to me that a golf course is like multiple holes worth of golfing. Like there's actually a good stretch of this property that is just golf. Oh, we got a car. Oh, he's probably looking at us.
Cool.
Ooh, all right, you want to keep moving?
Yeah. All right, so you got a truck pulling in. Cool. Well, glad he didn't listen to me. No. I'd love for them to interact with us. That'd be fascinating. Yes.
And we'll come up on like an entrance for cars, where cars can enter. But I've got some outside of the property over the north, and as I understand it, it would be something that Ron Miscavige Sr. would do regularly with his wife, just drive from one side of the property
Nothing better to do.
instead of just staying straight. He turned and floored it, and that's how he escaped. 2012.
Right, if you have a car, it's very easy. Like, right, if you got access to that.
Yeah, and Ron Miscavige Sr. has certainly featuring perks that not all Scientology staff would.
Yeah, it took a while longer.
Because yes, most of the staff on the property are willing to bet did not have access to a car. Some probably don't even have a license.
Probably not. A lot of our immigrants that get everything taken away from them.
Yes, I was actually listening to a podcast. They've also told their story on the
Yeah, we'll see how bad the fencing is. Somebody asked us this is locational with the spiked fencing. The fencing didn't seem as radical, although that's spiked.
There's definitely the double-sided razor wire right there.
Though I could hop up. I see the razor wire. If you can see it, guys.
And so I
there's
think
some
those
prickly
are motion sensors right there. Oh, well,
right.
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure that there are sensors that are right here, so that if somebody does happen to hop over, security will be alerted.
Right. Right. You could do it without the security. Oh, but they're smart. You know what they do too? They have all the cactus here.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it literally is right on the fence right there. So if you do make it over the fence without getting cut by the fence, you're landing in cactus.
Yeah.
My goodness, I actually
didn't know. It must be very intentional because there's no cactus on the other side. There's only cactus on this side. I mean, maybe they just want it to grow on the side, but also note how unwelcoming it is now for people walking. I mean, it's unwelcoming the whole time, but at least there was a strip of space. Here, there's no real strip of space. So as you can see, it's very well manicured, protected. Oh, that was area I was thinking we could go up potentially later on. They run us off. But I don't, you probably see the same.
Private property, no trespassing.
Oh, really? Okay.
I didn't see that earlier. I do see it now. Which is interesting because it doesn't look that well.
Hey, Jacob, we got somebody walking around.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Pretty cool. I'm doing some landscaping. Interesting. Yeah. So, you know, as what's up, Thomas? Thomas, big fan. I'm Thomas Anderson. So we should, now that somebody's observing us, obviously, guys, this is HGTV. This is a YouTube for HGTV, greatest landscapes in Southern California. So we have to praise the Scientologists.
Okay, we have a tennis court right here.
Cool.
Under some trees. No, this is not in Florida. This is in Southern California, in Riverside County. I see some people do a manual labor over there, which if I know anything about the fjords, manual labor could very well mean that they are making amends because they are in trouble.
You deserve it. Better get those TRs in.
There's a lot of cameras right there.
Yeah.
Also got a gate right here.
Maybe we could have like a coffee. That'd be cool. So say them HGTV wants to interview them for best landscapes of all time.
It looks like the woman in the blue is on her phone now.
Cool. Probably about. Maybe we get a ride back. That'll be cool.
Can't get a good shot of her. But that's okay.
Just tell her I'm a big fan. I should tell her I want to join. I'm ready.
Yeah, I don't know if they're big on people joining.
No, that's true.
I think I remember that guy.
He definitely knew what we were doing. He definitely knew we weren't Scientologists.
If that was who I think it is, that guy who just looked at us, I think he might have showed up to some of the Lots of Bell protests.
Oh, badass, really? Yeah. That's so cool. Jacob, do you know what that, or anybody in the chat, anybody know what this White House is?
If I can figure it out, if we pass the golf course from the map, is that the RTC?
Uh-oh, video's fuzzy? Tell me if it's still fuzzy, guys. That sucks.
I don't know if it's this would still be. Gosh, I tried to print out a map of the place before we got here, but some of the writing is so blurry.
So hard to read. Yeah. There's not much. There's not much you can find on Google Maps either. This is another big gate.
We'll print out again the frustrating
Wipe your lens. I'll try.
It's supposed to have private property. There's an intercept right here, it looks like. Maybe on our way back, we want to try to buzz in, ask for.
Yeah. It's clear now. Oh, good. Oh, cool. Watch him. Funny comment, Jay Wood. I'm glad we both allow you to edge. Tell Mindy I say hi too. I didn't want to be competing with Mindy. Oh well.
Competing with Mindy?
She's going live. She's live now too, apparently.
Oh, gotcha.
Ah, I just said hi. Very sweet. You finally got your wish, Jay Wood. Both of us actually said hello in real time because of you.
INT ranch was because I know the ranch that the sea urchins grew up at is also somewhere near here, but I'm not exactly sure where, and I'm also not sure if Scientology even still uses that property.
What are you doing, Carolyn? We're checking out the headquarters of the Church of Scientology. The Church of Scientology is a church that got me off drugs, improved my life, allowed me to ignore my family forever because they're only holding me back, allowed me to leave my children. actually. So I thank them for everything. I'm kidding. I have no children. I hate Scientology. I love matchmaking. Jay Wood, that's far. Vinny has a boyfriend.
I think Stafford. This is Stafford.
What's up?
I'm pretty sure this is Stafford. I'm not.
Oh, cool.
Sure if I'm following the map.
This is where they birth.
But if I understand correctly, this is Stafford. And also, it's my understanding that this
Staff birthing or aborting? But
it's my understanding that this side of the property is the north side, and that's where the executive strata is. So
oh wow.
Commodore's messengers and religious technology this side, whereas this side is Golden Era Productions, which is where the films are produced.
Where the great Mitch Brisker once sat. Shout out to Mitch. Subscribe to Mitch.
Yes. Okay, so what is that house right there? That's a big one. Is that building 35? Or is that the film lab?
Oh, serious. It says 41 on here.
Oh, it says 41 on there?
That's what the building says, yeah. Or that's the number outside of there's a number outside of the building that says 41. Let's get a better view of it. It's okay to be gay for GOA. I'm not, but if you are, that certainly is okay. Guys, send me a super chat for all this trouble. Guys, I can't address crackhead Kenny. I don't know. I've never heard evidence he assaulted anybody. So I don't. You try to bring up shit. I could go live and just ignore you.
So they're right. There are certainly people being held prisoner at this place. I'm not worried about them grabbing us because we're not signing contracts. If we had signed contracts,
that's funny. All right.
Our lives to the Sea Org, then they would be less afraid of us.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, because if they try to grab us, we can sue them all day, all night because
sure.
we have not signed any arbitration contract. No. So that's not a hurdle that we'd have to overcome. Yeah, this has got to be separating right here. Wipe your lens, please. Is my lens a little bit smudged? Let me.
Hey, Tommy. Nice to have you. Is that a house? These are a bunch of little houses. This is where the staff spends their evenings.
Make the picture a little bit better. That means that if we want to get this picture, we might have limited. And now we have a unobstructed view.
Thanks, Lone Dinosaur. We're a good team. Thank you, Tommy. This is an interesting tour.
Yeah, so this is definitely where lots of staff members who have been posted here for a decade or more are stationed. I see some motorcycles right here.
So I'm curious. They look nice, but do all the staff members live the same way as Sea Org, or is it a lot nicer? I guess it's nicer, right? So, like, are they in little apartments in this building, or are they like stacked in dormitories?
I would say that it's probably dormitories with lots of people stacked in. And from what I understand, if you're married, you can live with. Just saw somebody driving.
Yeah, I saw that too.
If you're married, you can live with your spouse.
Right.
If you're not married, then you'll just be piled in with a bunch of other suite members, like 6 of the same gender.
Oh, so that beautiful house, beautiful facade, but tight corners, tight, cramped living.
Oh, I see a door just opened, although I didn't see a person.
Oh, she's not. She's not really walking. I see 2 of them.
Gonna get walking soon.
They're walking. There's some people there. I wonder if they'll give me like an outfit if I could just say, hey, I just want to buy that. That's why I came here. I just want to buy the outfit. I want to buy the cool gold and black tie. It's so stylish. And I want to buy the cool vest with the gold piping on it. That's why I came.
And from what I understand, Sea Org members will be responsible for replacing their own uniforms if they happen to get damaged or even just old.
Yes, I heard about that. Where do they buy it?
From the Scientology canteen at the...
That's right. So you have to get it a special thing.
Where the canteen is at on this map?
Let's get a bite.
I've read a lot about the history of the Church of Scientology and of the executive strata and the developments that took place at the high levels over the years.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to actually
I'm making a super chat. Wow.
Around the place until I've been there. Same thing with Big Blue. I didn't really get to know the relationship there between Church of Scientology International, or LA Ford,
Cool.
American Same Heritage,
Yeah.
ALLA, the country.
It's a lot.
Until it was actually physically They'll let people know their speed limit while they get pictures of themselves taken.
Jump the fence. If you give me a big enough super
There's a
chat,
blue,
I'll jump
bluish
the
building
fence.
that we just walked by right there. That would probably be either the RTC building or
Oh, yeah,
we're
you
coming
can
up
see
on
the
the
roof.
villas. So it looks like there's villas on the north side, and then below that on the south side, just past the berthing, is the film lab. So that's probably what this is the villas.
Cool.
Maybe where...
Verity, thank you. Thank you for the 10 memberships.
More upper...
That's very kind. Thank you. You just paid for my gas and lunch. That's very sweet. Thank you, Verity, and thank you, Matrix. Thank you, Matrix, as well. Very sweet, Verity. I really appreciate that. Ooh, let's get a good view here.
I appreciate the we will do our darndest to stay safe. I appreciate it.
I only got to be wary of the cactus. No. I'm like the baby wandering off. So all birthing. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Yeah, you kind of sink into it. You checked out the golf course. Yeah, we saw the golf course in the beginning. So, golf course hath been seen. Hi, just got on. We are checking out the Scientology headquarters.
All right, so if we just pass,
go to Scientology.org. It'll change your life. It's changed my life. It's taken all my wallet.
So,
is that what it is?
If I'm understanding the map correctly, if I'm interpreting it correctly, I think that this might be Administration 30, or excuse me, what's it called? Building 36, which is where oh my gosh, I cannot speak today.
All
administration
right.
and manufacturing happens here. So, because this is the film side, I know I've heard Mark Headley tell stories about having to work on, is it CDs or cassette tapes back in the day? Maybe that could have been happening here.
Did they write the greatest movie of all time, Battlefield's Earth, here?
That I don't know. I know
curious.
that Hubbard never actually lived on the property. My understanding is that he used the golf course to film a movie.
Interesting.
And then bought the whole property with the intent that this could be where he lived. But
Battlefield
then
golf.
He spent the rest of his life in hiding. He did not ever actually live on the property. Even though
yes.
What it was initially.
Where was his trailer? Do you know where in California it was?
It was near San Luis Obispo.
Oh, so up north.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know. Interesting. Yeah, right.
Yes, Kim Holman says, I think Bob Paris is there also. This is my understanding.
So they have another, oh, is that the famous, the lake? Is that where the lake where Mike Rinter got thrown in and all those people?
Oh, that could be. I mean, there have been so many lakes that we passed with the golf course, so.
Yeah, but this is the one on property. That's why, that's probably the one where, David Miscavige made him go and take a dip in the lake.
If I was right about where Building 36 is, then yeah, this right here.
We'll have some more numbers too to look, try to see if any of them have additional numbers.
Well, folks, I'll make it clear that I'm not super confident that I'm right when I point out each of those locations. I'm doing my best.
Oh, close enough.
The map that I've seen, but
here's
if
an
I'm
interesting
interpreting
view.
things correctly.
It is quite stunning inside. It makes me sad because you think if they were allowed a 6-hour day and they could smoke weed and walk around and look at the sunset on the lake, that's kind of nice, but they can't do that. It's kind of what's the purpose of this beautiful campus if they have no time to go for nice walks?
Here's the main gate and security booth that we're coming up on. So that would be here and here, right here. My chat is complimenting your haircut.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I get the same type of haircut ever since I was 5. I get a haircut every 3 or 4 months. It's
Same
all right,
me, pretty
nice.
much. pretty much been.
It ain't broke,
chilling
don't
up
fix
the
it.
front.
Oh, nice. Be careful of that gel. They
Good
say
amount of time.
it causes hair loss, but who knows if that's true? I don't. It's probably not that
Yeah,
true.
who knows about hair loss? I think I'm experiencing that already anyway.
Oh, sorry to hear that. We can't all be David Miscavige with this beautiful head of hair.
I do take Rogaine. I do use
Nice.
Bosley shampoo and conditioner.
Okay. Sure, again, there.
I
That's
have
all right.
not gone so far as getting a propitious prescription. I almost said subscription.
Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth.
Oh, goodness.
Speaking of Scientologists. Oh, hey,
I
look.
was a Scientologist.
Cool.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
Little
we've got
buggies,
some.
the little golf carts.
Yeah,
I like
those are
how high
interesting
tech
looking
and
golf
modern
carts.
their golf carts are.
They remind me of some of the Cars and Cars, the movie.
Me too. That's fun.
Thank you so much, Crackhead Jenny. Crackhead Jenny says, good job out there. Thank you for bringing us with you guys to see Gold Base. Please tell Dodge I said hi.
Thank you, Tommy.
LOL, where's Shelly? So Crackhead Jenny says hello.
Hey,
and
Crackhead
and a
Jenny.
super chat to me. So thank you, Crackhead.
Too many crackheads to keep
All right,
track
now
of.
here we are up at the main security booth with the Golden Era Productions. I want to move to a
Projection,
there.
that's-
Golden Era
That's fun.
Productions. No mention of Scientology on their public-facing
No.
signage. Oh no, that's not true. I do see the S's up there. You see that? You see the
I don't see
Scientology
it. Oh,
S's?
yeah, on the top. Mhm.
There they are. The two triangles.
This is my Lord.
All right, and so that would be, so it would be right here, like right exactly where we're standing right now, that Ron Miscavige is still
Right here?
driving
That's
driving
cool.
out of this side, and like he made this
Which
happen.
way did he go? You went into town?
That is my belief.
Okay.
My belief is that he came out this way with the intention, or they thought he was going to just drive right across like here.
Right.
But then
Boom.
he turned right and just floored it.
That's awesome. Rest in peace.
I'm not 100% sure about which way Mark Headley went on his motorcycle, but it seems like that would make the most sense. I believe there's a town and civilization a little bit closer this way than you would find if you went this way, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, yeah, that's a real town. Well, you just walk from there, so that's easy to get to. The other side, I don't think there's much.
All right, so what building would this be right here then? This would be, if we're just past the main gate and security, this would be upper lodge and lower lodge. Yeah, it looks
Interesting.
like that could be more like places where people are sleeping. These could
Right.
be rooms. that people are
Looks
staying
like a
in.
little motel. Looks like the motel rooms I stay at. Except it's free.
So there's got to be spikes underneath the plants right here, right?
That'd be
if
my
they were to
guess.
try to
It's a
jump
good
over
question.
these plants, there's got to be spikes that
You can do it though. Just feel around for it.
No, thank you. Okay, there.
So they actually have an actual church. Here's their actual fucking church.
Or is this?
This is the church.
Building. This shows up as 13 on the map. So is this the qualifications division of Gold? Provides staff training and staff counseling in the nearby Del Sol building. Okay, so that makes sense. If this is the qualifications, is that what it's saying? Qualifications division. And so if this provides.
So are you describing this?
Yeah. So if I'm understanding it correctly, it's the qualifications division, which is where
see.
staff receives auditing and counseling. And in that case, it does make sense that they would have the signs. Oh, did you see that? The lights just came off. The lights were on right there.
Oh, that's
and then
awesome.
They went off.
I did not see that. That's super cool. Yeah, I see somebody in there.
I see somebody working in that window here. Okay, we see some flags right here. What flags do we see? I see USA. I think that's the
California.
And then I can't tell what that white flag on the far left is. Interesting. Okay,
TGAC.
past the lodges. Yeah,
Flag of
our
TGAC.
daylight is somewhat limited.
Which is good timing because we're almost. This is the end of it anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Probably won't make as many stops on the way coming back.
No, well, pitch. Beautiful sun. It's a great place for a hike. I should get a little Airbnb here and just hike around the vicinity. Huh, we didn't do it.
Before it was purchased by. Oh, that looks like a mess hall in there. Is that what this is? Master Canyon Inn. Yeah, is where this.
Thank you, Lone
Yep.
Dinosaur.
So this is Massacre Canyon Inn. This is the mess hall.
Wow.
Karen Hall says, did you walk around the whole area?
Almost, but not quite.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Sody says we should do a duet before the stream ends. I don't know, but if you're game, I guess I'd be. I don't even know what you sing.
You have any,
cool.
You have any songs in mind?
What? Well, you like? No, I don't know that. What's that one?
No, it's a Scientology.
Oh, yes.
You've seen the video
yes.
with Miscavige and
it's very funny. Yes.
Disappeared executives by his side.
yes.
I hate
That's
to
funny.
say it, but it is a catchy song.
It is. Too bad I haven't memorized. Nice.
Hey, laddie, we stand tall.
Wow, you got quite a voice.
I know, we found the way, laddie, la. Hey,
Nice.
laddie, we stand tall.
I love that security's hearing you sing this.
I wonder if they remember that
Good
song.
voice. I know you had a good
Thank
voice.
you.
I forgot. It was very good.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
That's hilarious.
Laura actually duetted on that song in front of the Scientology test center.
That was awesome.
January.
I keep wanting to drop Diana Hubbard tracks, but she doesn't sing. She only plays the piano. Oh yeah, we can do Grease. Up the county line, Grease lightning, go Grease lightning, Grease lightning, get on time, Grease lightning, go Grease lightning.
You are supreme, the chicks are clean.
Grease lightning.
Go 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 go.
Nice. Much better
memorized.
memorized.
Originally sung by a Scientologist, and forgive me if
Yes.
you can tell that I'm not warmed up. Although I have been talking all day, so I can't say I'm totally cold.
So for the first time ever, I'm just I rarely like this. I'm just like hanging back and letting you expound your wisdom. Usually I'm the talker. No, it's good. You're very.
In such high regard.
No, I do it. Very, very well informed about this. It's interesting. So here's some more open space.
Okay, so this is the castle. What exactly this is, I'm not exactly sure, but it looks like this is number 1 on the map over here. It says, the castle is a large state-of-the-art sound studio for filming. It also has a large area for set and prop construction and storage, costumes, and makeup. So that's what this castle is, apparently, according to this map. Interesting. I wonder if that's the building that Valerie Haney was shooting in when she was filming with that non-Scientologist group of actors. I wonder if that was here.
You know what's funny? If you go on Reddit and Google, like, have you ever worked with Golden Era Productions? There's a few comments being like, oh, I worked with this really nice woman named Valerie.
Really?
And yeah, and it's like, and then I found out she like escaped in the trunk of a car.
That would be.
But they're like, so all wild. Of them remember, all the people, like the actors commenting, like they all remember her apparently, which is interesting.
Well,
so go to Reddit.
That would be a crazy thing to experience. I mean, especially for the actor who opened up his trunk and then Valerie jumped out. Like,
I know.
That would be so wild to be working on set all day and then drive home.
The actor,
and the producer gets out of your.
She jumps out. She jumps out of the trunk, and he's like, "Wait, does that mean I'm getting a call back?" You've lost that love and feeling.
Ooh.
Oh, that love and feeling. You've lost that love and feeling. Now it's gone, gone, gone. And I can't hold on. Whoa, baby, I get down on my knees for you. If you just love me like you used to do. A love you don't find every day. So don't let it slip away. Righteous Brothers, classic.
Very nice.
Bless somebody. Thank you. Oh, it's a good one. They did yeah, very from the 65.
Okay.
Do you know the song Unchained Melody?
Unchained Melody.
Time goes by so slowly, and time can mean so much. Do you ever see Ghost with Patrick Swayze? And Demi Moore? Guy, yeah, you're
on my list for a minute. I've been meaning to see it.
Well, that was in a popular scene in that movie with Patrick Swayze, and he's a ghost, and he infects Demi Moore, and she's she's doing pottery, and like shaping her bull into something phallic, and then his ghost hands cover hers, and then they play that song.
Interesting. I've been meaning to see that movie for a while, but I haven't gotten around to it.
I haven't seen it since 20 years, but it's fun.
I'm thinking this is. I mean, we can walk a little bit further and see if there happens to be anything
this is the
interesting.
extent
I'm
of it,
thinking
though.
this is pretty much the the peak of what we're going to see that's interesting. When we're walking back, do you want to walk back on the other side
Definitely,
of the road?
yeah, and a lot more space too.
Yeah, I'm up for that. There's cars sometimes.
So this is the Kid and Caboodle, right? This is the end of the, yeah. Just to take a quick, I'm going to stand on this little rock just to take a look. Yeah, and then it's interesting because this isn't blocked. This is blocked off separately. So here's the fence that ends.
Oh yeah.
And then around.
If somebody does get over the hill right here, then you have to get through this fence.
Yes. So you can do. I've gotten through shit like this with my dog, but.
Thomas says Jacob about to go full cruise and sneak in. Not quite.
Jacob wasn't here, I would do it, but he's the voice of reason.
My voice of reason.
Yeah.
All right. We want to let that car go.
We don't want to be dealing with Moxon. Tell you that much. Oh, thank you, Crackhead Jenny. Appreciate it.
Crackhead Jenny donated to me as well.
Nice. Guys, subscribe to Crackhead Jenny.
Trapped inside there. Yes, indeed. Many a Seaward member has been banished to the gold base, never to leave again.
It could be banished to a lot worse, but they don't get to enjoy it. It's such a shame, man. I would like open a Hyatt here and make so much money. The Scientologists are stupid. They really want to make money, open like a fancy hotel.
Okay, you know,
their security card.
I'm kind of glad that.
Yeah, security had the lights, but no sheriff or anything. It was white with. It was pure white with like lights on the top, with like police lights. I'm like, oh, that's security.
I'm actually kind of glad that we came at this time that we did, so that we can see the lights turning on.
That is interesting.
As the sun goes down. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
CC says, "Can we walk to the front door?"
Well, we walked to the front gate.
We walked to the front gate. I didn't press the button or anything. Thing is, I already know they're not going to let us in.
Yeah, I mean, we could try. Your call.
I will. You know what? I'll think about it until we get up to the security main booth.
Makes sense. I'll do it if you want to do it, but I'm not married to it. We just say we're again HGTV, best keeping jobs in America.
Just ask if there are any Scientology executives that would like to be interviewed about their experience.
Yeah, extreme makeover. You're the first one to ever use my dog emojis. Thank you for being a member, June, and being the first ever to use the dog emojis. Hey, Marina. Nice to have you. Good to have you.
Yeah, it's not easy being me, says this is where Bob Ferris is. The road you're on is as close as Liz could get when she was looking for him. So yeah, and that is the thing, is she actually had a family member in the church, and she wasn't able to get it. Neither Dodge nor I actually knows anybody here, which is why I feel like if I did, then maybe would be more keen to actually try and see what they say.
Yeah.
But I just know they're going to tell us to go away.
She's like, yeah, I'm a friend to Ken Moxon's.
I'd rather not be like
him right up.
I'd rather be allowed to take my time a little bit, you know?
Definitely.
Well, in that we are
arguably
on a sidewalk as the sun is starting to go down. It's something that we took a risk assessment for. But
so you better give Jacob a super chat for that. He's risking his life for you.
And we decided that
what's that, Lori? Second person use icon.
We feel comfortable doing it together. I don't know that
I wouldn't do it alone. That's ballsy. I get way too nerve-wracked. I get way too nervous.
But personally, I'm glad.
So we get a nice view over here that we didn't see before.
That's true. We didn't really look in here the last time we came by. So this would be okay. So it looks like this is probably
Oh, thank you, Lord. Love. Lone Dinosaur.
This could be the executive strata. Right
wow.
Here. So this could be where some of the higher executives are posted. We know that the higher executives are on this side of the property because this side is the south side where the Golden Era Productions and like filming happens, and then this side is the north side where the executives are posted.
Nice life.
And as I understand it, there's even that's even kind of a, how do I say it, like a power imbalance that exists at the
Well,
at
Jake,
the property.
yeah, I was curious, Jacob, what percentage of are all the executives making good money? Are they the only ones who do? Because like Mitch Brisker made a lot. Is that very unusual?
Yes, because he was not a Sea Org member, and Mitch was actually, Mitch Brisker was in a super unique position.
Yes.
Where he was a public
couldn't have done without him.
Yeah, he was a public Scientologist who was paying for courses.
Right.
But he was also being brought to the international base.
Interesting, but he wasn't technically staff or anything.
Yeah, and that's very rare. Like very few non-Sea Org members are ever allowed on the gold base. And for the most part, the only others who would be big money paying Scientologists like Tom Cruise or Paul Haggis when he was still in.
Sure.
So yeah, Mitch Brisker was in a very unique situation. And to your question about payment, yeah, most Sea Org members are making like $47 a week maximum, and that's
it. So even if I know that, but like even if you're executives, so the executives here are part of the Sea Org still.
They are part of the Sea Org,
and therefore are making that same wage, obviously.
Well, and my understanding was prior to the year 2000, before Miscavige had created the hole and started his, before he had accelerated his reign of terror to the degree that he ultimately did, there were executives who were able to make more big money bonuses and were able to buy cars that most Sea Org members wouldn't be able to afford or wouldn't be able to get their hands on.
Right.
But once the hole was created, essentially anybody who had ever held any executive role had pretty much been demoted down to nothing and forced to confess all of their crimes and condemned to a life in the hole.
So originally, do you know when this was built?
When this was
Hubbard, this whole base, was Hubbard alive? He was,
well,
right?
Yes, because I know that it was his choice to buy the property after he filmed something on the golf course.
I see, so the golf course originally.
I want to say that was either the late 70s or the early 80s.
I see.
Because it was pretty much by 1982, I think, that he was on the run, he was in hiding. Most Scientologists had no idea what his whereabouts.
Right.
And Pat Broker would come to and from, or Miscavige would had essentially control of the base, and he would set up opportunities to meet with Pat Broker, and that was how they would exchange information to and from Hubbard. And it was during that time that Miscavige basically just started getting rid of anybody who wasn't fully on board.
Miscavige was like, sorry, Ron told me I was Jesus Christ.
Well,
that's what he said.
Well, actually the other way around, because he would convince Hubbard that these people were plotting crimes against Scientology. Like the name that comes to mind is David Mayo. And David
of course,
Mayo,
it was the reluctant takeover guy, apparently, next to Roker.
If I'm not mistaken,
and absconded to Czechoslovakia. Is still there, right?
That actually I'm not sure about. That
believe
would be
so.
Interesting to follow up on. But my understanding is that David Mayo was a top auditor, and I think Hubbard even credited him with saving his life at one point. But then after Miscavige started the takeover here in the early 80s, while Hubbard was still in hiding, Miscavige, because David Mayo wasn't on board with Miscavige's takeover, Miscavige convinced or passed a message to Pat Broker, which was passed to Hubbard, which said that David Mayo has crimes and David Mayo is plotting crimes against Scientology. And so Hubbard thanked Miscavige, and that was the end of David Mayo's time in Scientology.
People felt that apparently Mayo just wanted to chill and work on the ranch and like the outdoor. Apparently he gave up without a fight. Is that I heard the general feeling on it. He didn't want the responsibility.
Well, you're not thinking of, are you thinking of Pat Broker, or are you thinking of...
I think it was Mayo specifically. I might be right. It might have been Broker. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm getting them. Well, maybe it was Broker that was the one that went to Czechoslovakia, and not Mayo.
I don't even know if Pat Broker's whereabouts are known. As far as I know, I haven't ever heard that Pat Broker died. I believe Pat Broker may still be alive.
I think he's the one I'm thinking of. He's the one that is still
for 25 years, and because so what I know about Pat Broker is that Pat Broker and Annie Broker, and Annie more so. Annie Broker was one of the people who was in L. Ron Hubbard's life, pretty much up until the day he died. One of the few people who he still saw on a daily basis. Pat Broker was her husband, and he was the go-between guy between Miscavige and Hubbard, and between Hubbard and the Scientology world while Hubbard was still alive. When Hubbard died, there was an L. Ron Hubbard, was it a policy letter or a writing by L. Ron Hubbard was released, which promoted both Pat and Annie Broker to the role of loyal officer,
Okay.
which made them the senior-most Sea Org members.
Interesting.
This was within a few days of Hubbard's death that came out, and then Miscavige ordered all copies of that document to be destroyed, claimed it was a fabrication, and I think it's actually still kind of a controversial topic within the ex-Scientology and anti-Scientology community. Like,
Sure.
did Hubbard write that and intend to promote Pat and Annie Broker and have them take over? Or did Pat Broker make that up?
Force? Yeah.
And in any case, in the end, David Miscavige did ultimately convince enough of the staff that he was the guy, and I think it was Pat Broker that he basically convinced to leave and like just live a quiet life, and then continued to pay millions of dollars to have him surveilled over the next decade.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Yes. Yeah.
Broker actually remained in the Sea Org until she died.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so
Did
they
try
split.
to blow. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Annie Broker did try to blow.
Well, I didn't know that.
But Marty Rathbun intercepted her.
Of course. Everybody's favorite.
Everybody's favorite.
I'm gonna leave some litter. I'll never litter except for on Scientology grounds.
But Marty Rathbun left the church in 2005.
Happy birthday, piece of drama.
He was one of their leading critics for a little while, and
Hope you have a good one.
Monique Rathbun, who actually was never a Scientologist, filed a lawsuit against the church after Marty and Monique started to receive a bunch of fair game harassment by the church. And because Monique was never in the church, she didn't face the same hurdles that ex-Scientologists would face in litigation because she never signed any contracts and she was a. So it appeared that she was winning the lawsuit, but then they decided to fire their attorneys and drop the whole thing.
Pressed up.
So it seems fairly evident that Marty Rathbun cut a deal to have the fair game go away.
Yeah.
Have his house paid off.
Kids don't get taken away, yeah. So he adopted a kid, so that was the big consternation.
Something that was learned within the last few years, was it Mitch that who made it public about Marty Scientology having evidence of Marty abusing his child? Or
no, I heard about that people are trying to spread that story, yeah. That's one of the reasons he came back. I don't know if his, could be. That's interesting.
It was always just kind of assumed that he took a deal so that the fair game would go away. I've heard that there's a little bit more to it. And I want to say it was Mitch that said something about that, but
could have been.
I don't want to speak too confidently about this.
Happy birthday, Peaceful Drama. Big 3-9. 986. What a year. Reagan girl. Somebody asked, wasn't Heber Jensen in command at some point? I mean, technically speaking, but not really.
Well, his title was president.
Exactly, but it didn't really mean. I love you.
That could be what that is. I wonder where that might be coming from. Oh, you know what? There's an event tonight for L. Ron Hubbard's birthday, I think.
Oh, is it tonight?
Yeah, I wonder if there's people being bused from
hilarious.
Here to the. That could very well be what that was. Dang.
That's wild.
Yeah. If
where's my invite?
I think that might be happening at Big Blue, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, at Blue. Yeah, somebody says Gina said at Blue. Oh wow, fun. That's a long trip.
It is. I've already done quite a bit of driving.
Yeah, it's already long enough for where I am.
We're also getting our steps in here.
Yeah.
Because we, of course, couldn't park too close.
No. We parked 2.5 miles away. Josh, you can have. Oh, thank you. Come over. Where? Who's asking you to come over? MD Media's there. Oh, you guys
really?
are all
MD
out.
Media's there? Okay, well, maybe I'll get back in my car and.
I think I'll miss it. I didn't know that was going on.
I think I'm still a couple hours away from there, so I don't know how long Matt's going to be there.
Probably missed it. MD Media's there.
I'm glad that we got to do this.
Yeah, it was interesting.
All love to MD Media. Hope he's getting a good scoop of what's going down.
Yeah, guys, watch MD Media. He's definitely worth watching. MD Media 18, right?
Yeah, in fact, they'll probably be bussed here again at the end of the night.
Well, I don't know.
Although I'm not looking to stay here all night.
Just wanted to sneak on
Dreamscape
their
also
bus.
points out Pat Broker was the one that received the information about OT9. When I asked about it, he said he forgot what Hubbard had said. So my understanding with that is that at the L. Ron Hubbard death announcement event, which happened a few weeks or maybe even just a few days after L. Ron Hubbard died in January of 1986. At this event, David Miscavige spoke and introduced himself and made the comments about L. Ron Hubbard discarding his body because it no longer would serve him in this lifetime.
My heart was touched.
Pat Broker also gave a speech where he talked about the fact that OT9 and 10 were done and would be coming out soon.
Yes.
And of course still waiting. Yeah, that was that 39 years ago now?
Yeah.
1986 to 2025. 39 years have gone by and OT9 and 10 are still not out.
What, is there any like fake rumors as to what, it doesn't exist, but is there any fake rumors as to what it is if it did exist? Like what's in there?
Oh, dude. Just walk past the glass. I'll shake my shoes.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, don't get cut.
Oh, yeah. From what I understand, I remember Tom DeBach did an interview where he was talking about the fact that when he knew Miscavige pretty well, when he was still in the good graces at Gold, that Tom DeBach and Miscavige were talking, and Miscavige was like, so what I've been able to find were these worksheets. Oh, because...
Right, you're right, he found worksheets,
yeah,
right.
But nothing really...
Would it be funny if he's like, guys, I found OT9, it's like a marine biology coloring book. That'll be awesome. I hope that's what it is.
Because as I do understand it, Pat Broker's place where he was living, which may or may not have been the same place that Hubbard was at the end of his life, I'm not exactly sure. But Miscavige had that rated to try to find OT9 and 10. And
right, he did. He thought it existed.
Yeah, he did believe that it existed. That's one thing that kind of makes me go back and forth. In the podcast I was listening to today that Claire Headley and Tony Ortega just did.
Oh, cool. I should check that out.
They talked a little bit about the debate of whether or not did Miscavige really believe in Scientology, and then also did L. Ron Hubbard really believe in Scientology. And that was kind of something that they bring. That's kind of something that I think about a lot when I'm thinking about that question. And it's like, no, I think that Miscavige did really believe that OT9 and 10 existed and that one could go full OT. I also feel like Miscavige knows that L. Ron Hubbard told some lies, and he knows that he's telling some lies, but do they still believe in some of the tenets of you are responsible for your condition, you are a Thetan, you are an immortal spiritual being?
He probably believes all of that still.
I want to say that they do.
What if OT9 is like, they find it and it's like the real like leader is David Miscavige's Beagles.
David Miscavige's Beagles?
They wrote OT9 and 10. They're like, sorry, it's no longer David Miscavige. They don't feed us enough. We're the new leaders of Scientology. I could dream.
Be careful walking in the dark. Yes, the sun is nice and down.
Thanks, mother. No, I appreciate it.
We will be back to the sidewalk that's on more bustling road very shortly. And once we are, and we will.
You know, it is so funny, like being in New Yorker, we walk everywhere. So if we go out of New York, like I think nothing of walking along a dark highway when cars are going 60 miles an hour. It's something I've done reflexively for my entire life. But most people don't do that. And that's like, this is what I used to do before I had a driver. I didn't get my driver's license until I was 29. And I went to 35 states all via train and bus. And this is what I would do. You know, you'd walk from the Greyhound station to your motel and you'd walk 2 miles and you'd have cars going by you at 6. So to me, this is very normal. But this is light. This is only like a 30-minute walk.
Yeah, this is not too bad. I had it in my head that it was like a 4 or 5 mile walk back to the nearest town. But no,
not bad at all.
It's not quite that bad. It's closer to 2.5 miles.
Here's another question I don't think Jacob or I know the answer to, and there probably isn't an answer. But there's a community college. There's 3 things that I'm of interest in. There's a temple, a community college, and what else was I thinking? Oh, and there's like a little Mexican food stand. Do any of those 3 have any relationship with Scientology? I wonder if they've ever interacted with them or protect them or hate them, or like, I wonder, because they're so close, like we'll see all of that. I mean, it's all within a 15-minute walk.
My guess would be that they've safe pointed the temple, and they've got the temple on their side enough that the temple will let the church know if any shady figures come by.
That's interesting.
That's a guess.
And the other question is that temple active, or is it an old holdout build? It says on Google Maps it's an actual temple, but I wonder if it's an old holdout building from 30 years ago that isn't used anymore. And why there's a temple here. It's just random. And you wouldn't think there'd be that many Jews here in this part of Southern California. But
I mean, I don't even know how many people there are that live in this area, especially just being an unincorporated community. It's fairly easy to look up the population in cities.
Right.
But to say how many people live in unincorporated Riverside
hard
County,
to say,
like, who even knows?
But if you go down to like, so now we're on unincorporated, but the moment we get to the shopping center, we're in Hemet, right?
You know what?
I believe so.
That may be true. I would have to double check when we get there.
I think so.
That may be correct.
Yeah, and then Hemet has, surprisingly, everything's so big in Southern California. Hemet has 100,000 people, so not tiny. Although small or big population in Southern California, but the rest of America, not a small area in the least bit. 100,000 people is not isolated.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't put their thing in like Indio, California, or Coachella, or just way out.
Well, I guess once Hubbard filmed the movie here, he made the decision to buy the property thinking that this would be where he lived, and then even though that didn't happen, it worked well enough for Miscavige to just start running the place here and putting up the Golden Era Productions facade so that now when the authorities ask, they can just claim, oh, well, this is where the Scientology training films are filmed, which is true, but they don't like to also reveal to the public that, no, this is also where the international management is run.
Right,
although I don't know that it still is, because I don't think that Miscavige comes by here anymore. From what I've heard from who I would consider to be reliable sources.
So that's a big question. What's the point? What's the point in making all this beautiful where nobody enjoys it except for two people? Maybe, I guess, originally when I wonder did L. Ron Hubbard, when he made this, did he envision some sort of for this to be used as some sort of enjoyment by the Sea Org members were worked to death during Hubbard as well. So I guess that's doubtful. But it's amazing because you have these long walking trails and beautiful views of the mountains and the sunset and two man-made lakes. And the buildings look historic and are quite beautiful looking. But what's the point of any of it? If you're at the end of the day, you're a Sea Org member that's still in a dorm room with 7 other people and you don't have time to take a 30-minute walk. Yeah. I don't think. So it's very bizarre to me.
I was definitely thinking that when we were coming by on the walk.
Right, just get a big building.
It just looked like such a great place for a retreat.
Right, right. It looked perfect for a retreat. Yeah, or like a nice hotel resort.
But I think that there are
to impress Tom Cruise, somebody says. Fair.
There's that, and then there are videos on Scientology websites that show footage of the gold base, and it's presented to the Scientology world, even though the location is secret. They present the in-base to the world as like, this is the pinnacle of society where everybody's just applying Scientology to its fullest extent all of the time, and so it's the pinnacle of spirituality here.
Right.
And it has to be confidential in the same way that the OT materials have to be confidential.
That's interesting.
So I think that's kind of the rationale there. And there used to be more staff members here, I know. I know that when Miscavige has escalated his reign of terror, he's purged more and more staff. He's put more and more in the hole.
Adds up.
So I think at this point, anybody who's at the in-base, first off, has had to go through so much sec checking before arriving here, like security checking, interrogation, to make sure. To make sure that they are fully pro-Scientology. They have no interest in leaving or questioning L. Ron Hubbard or questioning David Miscavige's authority or anything like that. And then it's inevitable that his paranoia grows, and now everybody who's been here has witnessed his fits of terror, his outbursts, to say the least.
Fascinating. Right, but it was originally like a different division. like initially, and then
he says, did Laura ever visit the place of the Kids Ranch with the TV crew? You know what?
yeah,
Did Laura come
Pretty
here
sure.
with that documentary Over the Rainbow? That
the Karen to like Karen Jeff.
Okay,
Thing.
I never actually watched that entire
Interesting.
documentary.
I don't know why I got so much criticism. I can't recall, but
I remember
I
what was happening, and I remember seeing clips of Laura, because that was the one where there were clips of Laura. One of the
yeah,
that was one where there were clips of Laura talking to her dad on the phone.
right.
And I saw those
pretty
clips.
powerful.
I don't know if I saw clips where she came here to the ranch,
I think
but
I
you
saw
know what?
that,
That's
yeah.
you did. If you did see that, yeah,
Yeah.
I would believe it. That
Many years.
very well may be true. So I will have to go back and check that one out. Yeah, because you know what? I remember there being some controversy with the documentary when it came out. And in fact, that might even be the first time I saw Laura was being interviewed by Aaron talking about her frustration with it.
Yeah, right.
I want to say that might have been my first introduction to her. But I am curious to go back and see it and see what it's all about. And if I'm not mistaken, was that made by Doug Kramer? You know?
I believe so, yes. He was, pretty cool guy. Yeah. Was. Kenny's crap pants. Oops, crap my pants. Thank you for the super chat. With it, super chat.
And Jeffrey Bourne now says, put more and more in the hole. LOL. Who would subject themselves to that? Well, that's the thing, is the only people who get to even be at the in base are so committed to serving their eternity, working to achieve the aims of Scientology.
Billion years. Don't forget it's a point.
Yeah, they've signed billion-year contracts to the point that if the ecclesiastical leader of the religion that they have committed their lives to has told them that they need this, they might very well believe that they deserve the punishments that they receive.
It might be unfair on Earth, but it might be fair in TGAC.
And the thing is, in order to leave, a lot of these people have to be willing to just start over with absolutely nothing, because a lot of the people who are Sea Org members here either have no family that they know, or the only family members that they do have are in Scientology. So they know that they can't leave and blow because they'll be declared suppressive persons, and then their family will not be allowed to talk to them. And if they have no money, no savings account, no driver's license, it's just they're between a rock and a hard place, to say the least.
All put.
And I know that in the case of somebody like Mike Rinder was in the hole for 2 years before he ultimately escaped.
Yeah, a long time.
And when he left, it was when he was fished out of the hole and flown to England to intercept John Sweeney, when John Sweeney was at a movie premiere for a movie that John Travolta was in.
Hilarious. Good for John Sweeney.
Mike Rinder, not anticipating that this was going to happen, was accosted by John Sweeney. And John Sweeney said, I have several witnesses who have said that they saw you being beaten by David Miscavige. And Mike Rinder said, those claims are absolute utter rubbish. And that interview, which Mike Rinder was tasked with making sure that interview never aired, well, it did. And Mike Rinder was, of course, punished for that. And Miscavige told him that he would never be allowed back to the United States. He would never see his family again. And at that point, that was really one of the only reasons that Mike Rinder had stayed, is because he was married to a Sea Org member. He had 2 children in the Sea Org. And leaving would not only mean starting over from scratch, but also destroying any chance of being able to see them again. Well, once the chance to see his wife and kids was taken away from him while he was still in the Sea Org, that was the straw that broke the camel's back, that made him realize, I've got nothing to stay here for. He left and lived quite an amazing life outside of Scientology. May he rest in peace as well.
This is the temple we were talking about. Somebody said temple's still active in the chat.
Okay.
Do you want to go by the front? Because we're allowed to go in here.
Are we?
Yeah, why wouldn't we?
I guess I don't see any signs that say private property.
No, I think we are, right? It's not Scientology.
Scientology property.
I think everybody's cool here.
There's a driveway up here too. So this is just the parking lot. Iglesia de Jesucristo.
Oh, so let's change it to a church. It must have been formerly a temple, but now it's a church. Because it has the Star of David. Yeah, it has this.
Oh, interesting.
What is this?
Okay, so Iglesia de Jesucristo. And then, and it says aquí en el Templo. Okay, so it's a
So maybe a
so
double.
it's a temple with a Christian church inside.
It's funny.
That is not something you see every day. Very interesting. Huh. Marlene Racine says, where are we? We just walked away from Scientology's international base, which is down this way. While we were walking along the side of it, Dodge and I, well, the sun set, so our vision was nowhere near what it was when we first arrived. So now we're back walking down the street, and I'll probably be ready to end the stream before too long. Are there any questions that I missed, or anything anybody wanted to ask before?
We still got 10 minutes to...
Actually, that's true. We do have a bit of a walk back to our cars, so we might as well.
So this is relatively populated. So they have the temple here. They have a little food stand. This is a little Mexican joint I was talking about. So they have this little Mexican food truck.
I am curious if they realize that they're so close to...
I'm curious about that too. We could ask them if you want me to.
What'd you say?
We could ask if you want me to.
If you want to, you can. I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable just taking their picture on on stream, but if you want to, you can. I think I'm also gonna drink the water.
Oh well, you're gonna get water anyway. I will buy something from them. Oh right, you have water.
Oh yeah, did you want a bottle of water, or because I have?
No, I'm all set. Thank you. It's not that bad of a walk. You know, I'll ask them. Why not? I'll buy something. Oh, it's a long line.
Hey, my friend.
How are you? ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien. First time here?
First time.
Okay.
Primer tiempo.
Let me show you. You see the plates? It's a quesadilla.
Okay. ¿Es it rápido? ¿Cuántos minutos?
5.
Okay.
Let me know when you want.
Con carne.
Okay, beef.
Yeah, we will be perfect.
Only one?
Only one.
For today?
For to go, yeah.
It goes lettuce, cheese, and sour cream on top.
Everything sounds good. I'm curious. I have a little YouTube, and I've been filming the Scientology base. Do you ever interact with them?
With the guards.
Only with the guards. Are they nice, or are they kind of weird?
Nice.
Okay, so they're polite. So they never come down though. Never the people with the tie or anything. No, I didn't think so. Interesting. Well, there's your answer. Okay, quesadilla. Quesadilla, get it. Yo regreso, tengo a mi amigo. Hey, I got a quesadilla because I felt bad. I want to ask him something.
Okay,
So, yeah, I'll be about like 2 or 3 minutes.
Did you ask them anything about Scientology?
Yeah, he said he doesn't interact with them that much, only the guards.
Only the guards?
That's it, and they seem polite. And I said, does anybody else come down? And they said no.
Interesting.
So it's almost like they don't exist, which is bizarre. Yeah. They'll dance. What are the? I wonder if the guards are higher. They're probably Scientologists. Would be my guess. ¿Cómo estás? Bien, bien. Tengo curioso. Estoy aquí porque estoy interesante de Scientology. ¿Es loco? ¿Sabes Scientology o no? ¿Tu opinión? ¿Loco o no? ¿O la medio? ¿La persona es precioso o no? ¿Un poco extraño?
poco extraño.
Ah, sí, los extraños, sí, de acuerdo, es verdad. La personalidad muy frío, ¿no? Yeah, sí, frío y no muchas palabras, no mucha comunicación, ¿no? Interesante. Scientology, ¿es buenos vecinos o no? Más o menos.
¿Cómo?
¿Estás vivas aquí o no? Ah, ok, claro. Sí, en la calle es Scientology, es la catedral principal de Scientology, con Tom Cruise, etc. Sí, eso es un poco loco. Sí, es porque estoy aquí, porque la centro de la religión es muy privado. Muchos empleados, la pagar es $50 para las semanas todos. Son nada. Hay mucha investigación con la policía. Mira, es loco. So, gracias por la información. See, yeah, nobody really knows him. This is a long wait for very little information. You heard me try to speak Spanish. Didn't work out that well. You're watching anything by Gary Jackson Moorhead. He was a guard at Gold's. Oh, that's interesting. I'll screenshot that. Sorry, this isn't very interesting, but I tried. You did all right. He understood you. Did you? Did he? Do you think you did? Okay, thank you. You seem kind of confused. I think he expressed that he felt that they were weird, though. So I think he knew them. It's like, yeah, they're weird. So that's good. I got that information. Appreciate that, Ramsey. Where's my simple? Listo? Yeah, solo una.
$7.
7. Cool.
Okay. Okay.
It's okay.
You sure? You sure? That was very nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. With everything. I'll be back. I promise. Hasta luego. All right, all set.
Exactly what? You all set?
Yeah.
Very nice. I heard you having an impressive conversation there. I didn't
Thank
realize
you.
how much Spanish you had.
Really? You didn't think it was horrifically butchered? I appreciate that. Right.
What I could hear, it sounded not bad.
Thank you. Somebody else in the I was like, I tried and I failed miserably, but somebody in the comments said, no, who was Spanish speaking, said, no, I understood you. So that's good. I appreciate that. I'm always hard on myself because I don't speak it fluently, but I guess I speak it like a 5 or 6 year old, which is more sufficient than most gringos.
Sí,
Yeah.
leer y escribir es
Okay, that's not bad.
mala,
So you can
pero-
read and write.
pero mi hablar y escuchar es muy
But
difícil.
yeah, that's not bad at all. But talking and listening, understanding is a lot more difficult.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
read. If I'm,
lo
if I'm reading
mismo.
a book in Spanish, I could make sense of it. Honestly, you know what? I would feel like a Scientologist if I was reading a book in Spanish because
Yeah,
I would have to
look up the
look
words.
up
Yeah.
all of the words that I didn't understand.
That's that's funny.
I'd have to get
very
word
true.
cleared.
You
Word cleared
would.
would take forever if I'm reading in Spanish.
Palabra claro. That's funny. That's true.
And just-
Do you take it in school?
I did take it. in
Oh, see,
school.
I didn't. So that's
So how did you learn? How did you
a
take
lot of time in Mexico.
it? Wow.
And you force yourself because you travel places they don't speak any English. So you force yourself to know what you need to know. And then there, they like redheads, so I had a fun dating life. And I'd go on dates with people who didn't speak a word of English. So it was kind of like baptism by fire, but it was very good practice.
Wait, you're saying that there were a lot of women in Mexico who had a thing for redheads? So
Yes,
you had a
because
good
we're
dating life?
Yeah, we're so exotic. They didn't see them. It's like here, redheads are lame. We can't get a date, but there, Yeah, I knew they liked me because here they all say like, oh, I look like Ron Weasley or Conan O'Brien or something. And in Mexico, they'd say I look like Prince Harry. Much rather that. So yeah, I had a fun dating. I had a great, still do. I mean, I haven't gone down there for a long time. Yeah.
Really?
People once in a while, people thought I was him for some reason. Like coincidentally, I was in Mexico City. He had a concert, and like 2 people asked me if I was Ed Sheeran. Like, no. And that's who I don't want to get compared to, but I do, unfortunately, because he's not very good looking. But he's a great singer. I don't know. I don't think anybody would think he's good looking.
No, he's very talented.
He's very talented.
Tend to be very impressed with his style.
Yes, he's a great singer, but he's not. Zippy, thank you very much. I can name one song, Shape of You. Well, I could do that and name that song. Shape of You. Nice. Me too. I'm in love with your body.
Y'all have any favorite Ed Sheeran tunes in the chat?
Right.
And they say she's in the class
A-team.
stuck in her
Daydream. Since 18 lately. Faces.
slowly sinking
Faces.
rumbling like
Faces.
They see the worst things in life come free to us. They were just
And then another hand.
I'm going mad
And
for
then
a
another
couple
grand.
She don't want to
Outside.
tonight. She flies to the motherland and sells love to another man. It's too
Oh, wow.
cold outside. Her angels survive.
You know, I think of that song and it really denigrates sex work. It's not nice.
Yeah, it's
I'm kidding.
it's a sad
Yeah, it's about.
story.
I never realized that it's about her being a sex worker, right?
Yeah, and yeah, for to be able to afford drugs, yeah, it's
Drugs are
a
great.
sad story.
It doesn't have to be
there's a
sad.
handful of songs out there that the melody I just love, but the lyrics are just
No, yeah.
Another one is
Claire.
Pumped Up Kicks.
Oh yeah, foster the children. With the pumped up kicks, run, better run, outrun my gun. All the other kids with the pumped up kicks, better run, 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 faster than my bullet.
Yeah, that's every time I hear that, I'm like, gosh, such a good song.
I know, it's
but
like
also,
killing somebody.
What?
Yeah, it's
Like,
hilarious.
Where did they get the idea for this? I don't know. Do you know the song? This is an older one, but do you know Possum Kingdom by Toadies?
No.
It's a weird one about for the longest time I thought it was about a vampire because it's a man singing to a woman about how I promise you'll stay forever beautiful, you'll be young forever, I will treat you well, my sweet angel, so help me Jesus.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, you'll stay young, you'll stay beautiful. Is this about a vampire? Once I saw the music video, it appears that it is about a murderer.
Oh,
But
okay,
again,
a
I'm
little
like,
more
God,
depressing.
such a good song.
That's hilarious.
And this is the songs we were just singing, Pumped Up Kicks and the 18. Those are more recent pop hits.
But that
I mean,
was
I
Ed
guess it's been like a
Sheeran's
decade.
first. That was Ed Sheeran's
that was
first
Ed
top
Sheeran.
20, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that was. I do want to say that was closer to the beginning of Ed Sheeran's career. I was still in middle school when that one came out. That was a song that I had on my iPod Touch before I even had an iPhone.
Yeah, I remember. All right.
Back when I was still purchasing music on iTunes before the music industry just turned.
It's funny to see the age difference. It's like 9 years older than you. I remember I would travel.
How old would you have been?
22.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much. I was born in 90, but the end.
Gotcha.
But I remember that I had a Sony Walkman, Sony MP3 player. And I would travel and I'd go to community colleges across cities and download music on them onto my, illegally download music and use their computers. I miss those days. Everything was so accessible.
Oh, you know what? I think I missed another super sticker from Crackhead Kenny Cheated Again. Thank you very much.
Somebody's really on the warpath. Congrats on the Reddit.
Yeah, I've gotten in this stream I've gotten super chats from Crackhead Jenny and also from Crackhead Kenny Cheated Again. That's an interesting.
Wow. How many anti-crackhead Kennys are there?
I don't know, but to everybody who has been kind enough to donate. Thank you very much. I do very much appreciate it.
Thank you guys on my end as well. Always nice to get. Got somebody else walking up. Older than Google. Yeah, Google's not that old.
Do you want to race for a sec?
Yeah.
All right.
Easily beat me. So it's hard because you don't know when you're going to pass somebody or not.
What'd you say?
So it's always awkward because you don't know when you're going to pass somebody or not.
Yeah.
Or if you should like stall or awkwardly walk alongside them.
Yeah, and it's also different when I'm streaming, but it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon if I'm walking around downtown with my roommate or with a friend, and we're walking just a little bit faster at a faster pace.
You're a quick walker. You're like me, by the way. Respect. Most people can't keep. And if I'm walking too fast, let me know.
No worries. No, I think
you're
I
kind of
tend
like
to be
me.
comfortable walking faster.
Oh,
as well.
good. Yeah, because most people I leave in the dust, and they're like, "Oh, you're almost running." I don't think I am, but see what people say.
Jenny is laughing, putting lots of laughing emojis. I'm
Glad you're enjoying
getting a kick out of what you are creating in here.
Well, I'm glad
Thank
she's
you very
doing
much.
it. You know,
I
the
hope you're having
guy's
fun.
language is important and really
Goodness gracious.
gross.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Dodge and I before before we went live, we were just talking off camera about how it almost feels inevitable that if you go live and talk about Scientology, you're going to get dragged into.
Hard to miss it. That's the problem.
You know, the
People demand you take a stance. Yeah.
Fighting, drama, all of the undesirable topics
elements
of conversation.
Sure.
But now, so in addition to Crackhead Jenny and what was the other one I said? Crackhead Kenny cheated again.
Yeah,
now,
I guess so.
a new account called Kenny's Crap Pants has sent a $2
Jesus.
super chat saying,
Hey,
"Hey,
Crackhead
Jacob."
Kenny.
Well, hey, Kenny's Crap Pants. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the super chat. Y'all, I'm losing it over here. Marina also sent a super chat.
That's very kind of
Thank
her.
you very much, Marina. And she says, "Not Crackhead Kenny." Thank you very much. Not that I am one to regularly ask for money in my streams, but
That's me.
It would be cool at some point to maybe receive some contribution that is not
Please.
related to one guy or parodies of him. Oh goodness.
He's an easy figure to not be a fan of, though.
Carol, thank you for all you do.
Whosever side you're
I hope
on.
that your job is not being made extra difficult tonight.
Oh yeah, you sell your mom. Cool.
I do, yes. And
I'm not older than DOA, by the way. So he said I'm older. DOA is 9 years older than me. So that's not true.
that wooden, that there looked like a middle finger for a sec.
Yeah.
At the angle that I was at, for a second, it looked
That's
like
funny.
it was a fist with a middle finger sticking out. I gotta be honest, I don't know if I'm even fully in the loop with what some chats or account names may be referencing. I'm aware.
So much esoteric inside baseball.
I'm
Yeah, that's
aware.
why I respect you. You use your real damn name. I don't get how I'm supposed to understand all your inside baseball references. They're not amusing to me. All of it, like, I'm not gonna name names, but yeah, it's just like I don't understand half of you are what joke you're trying to say. It
Yeah.
doesn't work.
So if y'all might be making references to things that I don't know about, I hope that
Like crazy love is love. What does that even mean?
Oh goodness. Yeah, and there's a lot of characters in the SPTV verse or former SPTV verse, depending on how folks choose to identify that. I don't even know if I'm up to date with everybody's stories or everybody's situations. I'm sure that there's some people who I'm completely out of the loop on things that other people in the chat might be very.
I'm paying attention to which
Okay,
share.
that's definitely not the first time we've seen.
No,
that
it's the
truck.
same truck with the American
Yeah.
flag.
White truck with an American flag in the back. I think that's my third time seeing a white truck with an American flag, but I guess, hey, it could be possible that there's multiple white trucks with American flags hanging out the back.
Entirely possible. Gotta check something
Oh
real
my
quick. Don't leave.
goodness. Thank you to those who are
Whoa.
sending super chats.
Thank you for all the
It
super
would be-
chatters.
it would be nice to see contributions to one not be made at the expense of another.
Who expensive? Whom do they give you a chat?
Well, but I guess because all of the accounts that are giving me super chats are named after Crackhead Kenny.
Right. Well, I don't know. With him, it's just like whether you're Team Aaron or DOA or whatever, it's just not appealing to listen to. I just don't think anybody should be respected for such nasty language and, you know, childish and sophomoric and arguably violent and just damaging, disgusting. So.
Oh, Kate Taylor says, "Keep my name in your broke mouth."
Right.
Here you go, Jacob. Thank you so much, Kate Taylor. I really appreciate that. And congrats on being the first.
Not a team, respect.
The first person to contribute to this series with a non-Crackhead Kenny related name.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Karen says,
Kate.
Jacob, Kenny would tell you to take the money. You know what? I think you're right.
Yeah, I would tell you the same thing. Kate Taylor, love you, by the way. Apologize. Somebody's being racist to Kate Taylor in my chat. I didn't realize that.
Is that what's going on?
Well, that happened. I don't know if anybody made a deal out of it, but I'll be more of it because I was driving, so I didn't see the chat.
Oh, I see.
But just to extend my apologies to her. And I'll be more vigilant in the chat next
And
time
I don't
around.
know if Mandy's in this one, but she does
Oh,
tend
Mandy.
to send the rules out every now and again to remind people no sexism, no racism, no homophobia.
True that.
None of that
No.
in this chat.
I think some cisphobia would be nice for a change. I hate myself.
Some misandry.
How about that? Tell Mandy, hey, I'll see you in Seattle at some point very soon.
Ooh, yeah. I'll have to remind Mandy to get in touch with you.
For sure.
You know,
Lucky
it was shortly after I started streaming that you, me, and Mandy did a stream.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I felt bad. I was 15 minutes late for it because this girl I was dating was like keeping me away and like.
Oh, is that the reason?
Oh, it's horrible. Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Wasn't horrible. Yeah. Well, I bet I was at a Marianne Williamson event. You know, she's running for president.
Oh wow.
Against Biden.
Yeah, I remember that.
Met this very
What a throwback. Wow.
yeah, it was cool. Met this really cool girl. I quite liked her, but she's very. And so we met at the event, then we hung out again like 2 days later, and then again when I was supposed to be on with you. But she's so particular. She wanted me to go to this specific restaurant to get her this specific food, and we had to drive like 20 minutes out of the way, and then she wanted to add something, and that took an extra 15 minutes, and then I was like late for your thing, and I felt bad. But oh well.
It's all good. It worked out. We
Indeed.
got on the air, and if I remember correctly, we did a pretty long stream. I feel
Yeah,
like we ended
it's like
up
an
going
hour.
for, yeah, maybe
Two
longer.
even.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a while. It was fun. Yeah.
It was a fun
Thanks for
time.
inviting me.
So to get to learn a little bit about each other and plug each other,
Glad
share
you
each
thought of
other's
me.
channels.
Yeah, it was helpful. That was a while ago now, right? March, I guess, a year ago.
That sounds about right.
Exactly
yeah.
1 year ago.
Because I think Mandy became my mod shortly after that crazy night in front of La Poubelle that the several arrests were made, and then we ended up going to the police station. It was shortly after that that I realized I needed mods. If I remember correctly, I didn't have any mods before that, which made it very easy for trolls to take over my chat. Because at that point, if I was
what happens to my chat every time.
Do you have no mods?
I have no mods. No.
Yeah, if you stream and drive with no mods, that's a
recipe for disaster.
A risky game.
It is. It's asking for trouble, isn't it? It really is. The crazy shit, especially it's like if I'm not the parent paying attention, like the crazy shit that people say when I'm not watching. It's just like, oh my God. So if people are outright racist, I'll ban them. You have to do a lot for me to ban you, though. A lot. I think I banned 1 or 2 people, and that's it. In the entire chat. And then I'm getting tired of all the Danny people who say the same thing, who hate Danny, and they just say Danny has no papers.
Oh,
and
that's...
like, get something original. Yeah. Which is racist, too. Yeah.
In case anybody was curious where I stand,
Dodge, someone says DOA is 2 shadows. Is that true? I don't know what that means.
2 shadows.
People talk in frickin' riddles. Dodge's chats are free speech romp, says Zippy. This is true, for better or for worse. Yeah, it's a community college. I walked a hell of a lot. We're not even done. So we probably just walked.
Into
Civilization.
Walking
So this
past,
would have been the walk. If you tried to break free, this is the walk that you would have done. And now you would have finally seen these lights, and you would have been like, all right, maybe there's a police station or somebody I can yell for down here. This would have been your first crossing into like assistance.
Indeed. And I would think that generally, I guess I don't know for sure about this one, but when I was in community college, there would always be campus police on campus. So if
This seems small. This seems like a small little college, though.
it is also a Saturday night, so there's just very few.
But yeah, you think that's a good question, though. I do wonder about that. If somebody escapes on a Wednesday, could they just run down and try to ask some of the security guards here?
Oh, look, this truck is just going back and forth.
Yeah, same truck.
That truck with the American flag.
That's sus, isn't it? That's suspect.
It could be somebody gathering intel on who's in the area. We don't know. It's not out of the question.
I'm surprised you to have a big political statement like that working for Scientology. Although Scientologists are pro-Trump, so,
I don't know that the church openly is, but I do think
But
that
personally they are. Yeah.
tend to lean conservative.
That's what...
I mean, Joy Villa, who was
Yes.
affiliated with Scientology,
The MAGA dress.
was openly MAGA. That's
Famously.
right.
Well, and the one election district in LA that went for Trump was the building where all the Scientologists vote.
And of course, Trump now has, what's her name, Pam Bondi, as his...
Their greatest friend.
Remind me, do you remember what her position is? Is she
Attorney General?
Attorney General, okay.
Head of law.
She was formerly, was it District
Florida.
Attorney
She is Attorney General of Florida.
Attorney General of Florida, got it.
And so Scientology hosted 2 fundraisers for her. And she went out of her way to honor them at a separate event. So, she's their greatest ally. Literally, you could have chosen anybody that's been more supportive.
Well, and also, Grant Cardone and his wife have been pretty openly supportive. And one of them,
Sure,
I want to say Grant Cardone was on stage at a Trump rally at Madison Square Garden. Did you?
Yeah, of course.
That?
Yeah, of course. The famous one with Tony Hinchcliffe. Yeah, he was there. He spoke.
Oh, that was the one where Tony Hinchcliffe was making the
Yeah.
jokes.
That was the
where
same
he
event.
talked about Puerto Rico.
Yeah, he's lucky. Hinchcliffe stole all the thunder.
Yeah, that's true. That was the main headline after that event. I didn't hear much about Grant Cardone except from within the anti-Scientology community.
Right.
And I know Tony Ortega was talking about that, and Tony tries not to get political most of the time.
No, but that's
from what I can
interesting.
see.
And he has millions of,
But he's pointing out, come on, the incoming, I can't remember, was that was before the election or after the election? Do you remember?
What, the rally?
Yeah.
Well, it was 2 weeks before, a week
2
before.
weeks before. Shortly before. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, if the Republican nominee, who is also a former president, is having an OT8 Scientologist on stage with them, regardless of what your political views are, that's news. That's Scientology-related news.
It's very true.
JB808 gives a 1999 super chat saying, going to the airport shortly, just listening in for a few. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you very much for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it, JB808. Kara People says, Cardone has been doing live TikToks on Saturday, and he doesn't use a mod. That is interesting. I might have to pop in there and say
Who's using
Scientology's tax-exempt status.
Oh, badass. I love that. Well, it's weird. I worked after I got fired from the Scientology thing. I landed a job with the Patrick Bet-David dude, Valuetainment.
Oh my gosh.
And it's a joke. But the weird cognitive dissonance with him is that he had Mike Rinder on.
Yeah, he's weirdly wishy-washy.
And then had Grant Cardone on. Yeah.
And you know who else is similar? Is Megyn Kelly. Because Megyn Kelly has also talked to Mike Rinder and had really interesting
Grant Cardone.
But also had Grant Cardone.
Right. Good point. You think there'd be some consistency. I don't see, if you know about all that, I don't see how you give anybody who is a current Scientologist a fair shake whatsoever.
And especially, it'd be one thing if they just had a Scientologist actor on, but to have somebody like Grant Cardone, Grant Cardone is a scammer. He's
in his blood, man.
Being a Scientologist, he's been investigated for fraud. Has he been indicted?
Yeah.
I feel like I see a lot of...
No, I think it's happening though.
It's He's under
I might go to that court case if there's ever a court case that comes into full fruition. I think that would be fun to go to.
Do you know what state it would be in? I'm not
Probably sure. Florida would be my assumption.
You may be right about that. That would be interesting to see, but that's why it'd be one thing if they had somebody like Mike Rinder or Leah Remini, because I know there's also like somebody like Chelsea Handler. Chelsea Handler is reportedly good friends with Leah Remini, but she's also friends with Elizabeth Moss.
That's interesting, of course.
Which, yeah, it is interesting. And also, I've also heard Leah talk about when, what's her name, Laura Papon, who was on
that 70s show.
That 70s show. She claimed within the last few years that she hasn't been actively practicing Scientology for 5 years, but she didn't actually like denounce Scientology.
That's true.
So Leah, I remember this is back when she was doing the podcast Fair Game with Mike Rinder.
Sure.
And they did an episode where Leah said that shortly after that, Leah reached out to Chelsea Handler to get a message to Laura Prepon.
Yeah.
And Laura responded to Chelsea but didn't acknowledge anything about Leah. So it doesn't seem to me like Laura is fully out of Scientology's control. She might not be actively taking courses.
I think there's a lot of that. I think there's a lot of, and my theory is they're more active than they let on, and they ask them permission to pretend they're not active. I don't have grace for any, like, or not that you do either, but I don't trust any of them that say they're actually, you know, I mean, I think Elvis's granddaughter, Riley Keough, is still a Scientologist.
Well, the thing,
you can pretend that it's just because of her friends. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think it might be, is that she still has friends who are Scientologists, and she doesn't want to be declared. So she's just walking the line of not actually speaking poorly about them. She's saying, oh, I'm not really in. But she's also not saying anything. She's not validating stories of victims of Scientology. She's not making any allegations of
I think that's bullshit. I mean, I guess some people love their friends that much. Friends are not your parents. Friends are not your dog. Friends are not your wife. Friends are not your girlfriend or husband or boyfriend. Friends are, you know, you move on from college, you lose your friends. You just have. So I find that bizarre that somebody would thinks that they're wrong, but because they want to hang out with like 6 or 7 people, that they're not going to speak out. My theory is she's as committed as ever. And that's a front thing, so she doesn't get harassed by anti-Scientology people or get pressed for that. But I think she's a true believing. I think most of them. I think any of them who are halfway in are actually fully in. I don't buy it, and I don't give them any excuse for it. And I think that's such a cop out, and not truthful at all. My opinion.
You may be right.
Yeah, I'm very judgmental of that, though. I don't like people who say they can have it halfway. It's your responsibility if you want to right the wrong and bring justice to children who've been abused or people who've had their civil rights violated. It's your responsibility, especially having been in it, to confirm all of that. You know?
No, yeah, I get where you're coming from. And it looks like Kara Feeble did share a link in the chat from insurancenewsnet.com that shares some information about Grant Cardone and Gary Brecka swapping charges and doing lawsuits. Okay, I'll have to read up on that.
Interesting. I don't know who Gary Brecka is.
And Kara is also echoing that she thinks Riley is definitely still in.
Interesting, okay.
Hey, Mandy D. Caspi is in here.
Oh, Mandy.
Dodge is going to be coming to
Seattle.
This car going to let us cross here. Let's do it.
They're not Scientologists.
Dodge is going to be coming to Seattle very shortly. We mentioned you a little bit earlier in the stream.
Yeah. So I said,
might have to connect once.
I'll make sure to say hey.
That would be cool.
Yeah. 100%. We made it.
Indeed, we made it.
Hopefully nobody stole your car.
Cars appear intact.
Good.
It's good to see.
That is a relief.
All right, I'm glad that you suggested that we keep streaming on the walk back. That was nice to catch up with you all.
Yeah.
You're gonna enjoy your quesadilla now.
Well, this is for my dog.
Oh, it's for a game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll just take it home. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you very much. Thanks for all the super chat. That was far. And hopefully I'll do some more stuff with Jacob in the future.
Indeed.
Au revoir.